Good morning, children. This is lecture 5 of chapter Light. In this lecture, we shall study about the formation of image by a lens with the help of ray diagram. Principal rays for a ray diagram. Image of an object formed by a lens may be drawn with the help of a ray diagram. Okay? For obtaining an image of a point, at least two rays are required. Those are originating from that point only. Usually, three types of rays are considered for drawing a ray diagram. You can draw a ray diagram with all the three rays, but with two rays also the image is forming. So, if we'll draw a ray diagram with two rays, that is perfectly okay. Okay. Now, the first type of ray, a ray of light that is incident on the optical center, passes undeviated. Just see this line. It is incidenting through the optical center and it is passing undeviated. The same is true for the concave lens. For the concave lens also, this is the incident ray which is passing through the optical center and it passes undeviated. Incident on the optical center and passes undeviated. Type 2, a ray of light that is parallel to the principal axis. You can see this line is parallel to the principal axis. That is, after refraction, passes through second focus. Okay, second focus. This is the line. This is the ray. For a concave lens, this is the incident ray which is parallel to the principal axis. Now it is a diverging lens, so it will go through this line. Then just extend that line in the backward direction. It will appear to come from second focus. Okay. Third type of ray, a ray of light passing through the first focus. From here, this is incidenting through the first focus, okay, or directed towards the first focus in a concave lens, okay, like this. It is this ray, directed. Now, after refraction become parallel to the principal axis, you can see this is going parallel to the principal axis. Here also it is going parallel to the principal axis. Now, just extend this line, you can see that this is coming from the first focus, okay. So that is why it is said that directed towards first focus. These are the three main rays which are considered for the formation of an image. Kind of images. Two types of images are there. One is real image, another is virtual image. If the rays from a point on an object after refraction through the lens meet at a point, actually meeting, then the image formed is real. Again, I am repeating, if the rays from a point on an object after refraction through a lens meet at a point, a real image may be obtained on the screen. Virtual image, if the rays from a point on an object do not actually meet at a point but appear to diverge from a point, then the image is virtual. A virtual image cannot be projected on a screen. Important slide, difference between real image and virtual image. Real image is formed by the actual intersection of the rays refracted by the lens. Virtual image is formed when the refracted ray from the lens appear to meet if they are produced backward. A real image may be obtained on a screen. A virtual image cannot be projected on a screen. A real image is inverted with respect to the object. Example, image of a distant object by a convex lens. A virtual image is erect with respect to the object. Example, image of an object by a concave lens. Construction of ray diagram for a lens, that is convex lens. Step 1. This is the step 1. What we are doing, a line PQ is drawn on the paper and named principal axis. A point O is taken on the line PQ and named optical center. An equiconvex lens is drawn. This is the convex lens, such that the line bisect its cross section, passes through the optical center. Like this we have to draw. Okay. Second step, you have to mark F1 and F2. So using a proper scale, two foci F1 and F2 are chosen on the principal axis. F1 will be in the left hand side and F2 will be on the right hand side. But they should be at equal distance from optical center O. Okay, so that OF1 is equals to OF2. This is your second step. Step 3, a straight line AB is drawn on the principal axis. This one, in the principal axis. PQ to represent an erect object. Okay. Next step, step 4. One ray of light AO, this line, this ray of light is drawn from point A of the object that passes undeviated through the optical center. Let us consider one ray that is passing, incidenting on the optical center and passes undeviated. Okay, this is your step number 4. Now, as I told you that for the image formation, we need 2 rays at least. So, next step, that is step number 5, a second ray of light AD. We have considered the light ray AD, which is passing parallel to the principal axis. Okay, parallel to PQ, that is the principal axis. After diffraction, it passes through the focus F2. Just see, this is the line. Okay, and that line is DA dash. Am I clear? Now you can see that these 2 rays, the first ray and the second ray, they are meeting at point A dash. Alternatively, you can take the other ray also, that is a ray which is passing through the focus F1. This ray you can take instead of the ray AD, which is parallel to the principal axis. We can take this ray also, that AD dash, which is going through the first focus, incidenting through the first focus F1. It will go parallel to the principal axis on the line D dash A dash. See the second figure. And now again you can see that these 2 lines, they are meeting at a point A dash. Okay. Now step 6. A dash is the point where 2 refracted rays meet. This one. A dash is the point where 2 refracted rays meet and is the image of the object A. Now by drawing the perpendicular A dash B dash, this one, from A dash on PQ, one gets the image of the object AB. Okay, but here you are getting an inverted image. Okay, AB is the erect image object and we are getting the inverted image of the object AB. Am I clear? Now, here I just want to tell you something. Instead of 2 rays, you can use 3 rays also. If we'll use these three rays, all these three rays, you can see one ray we have taken which is incidenting to the optical center and passing undeviated. The second one, the middle one. The second one, a ray we have considered which is parallel to the principal axis, that is AD, which is passing through the second focus F2. This is F2. This is second focus F2. Okay, second focus F2. Now, third ray we can consider this one, that is AD dash, which is incidenting through the first focus, which is passing after refraction. It will pass parallel to the principal axis, that is the ray is D dash A dash. Now all the three rays are meeting at a point A dash, and we are getting the image A dash B dash. So with three rays also an image can be drawn. Okay. Now step 7, height A dash B dash and the distance OB dash are measured in the scale to find out the image distance and the image height. If we measure A dash B dash, you will get the image distance, height of the image. And if we measure OB dash, you will get the image distance. Okay, OB dash will give you the image distance and A dash B dash will give you the height of the image. This is give you the image distance and this will give you height of the image. Okay, children. Now this slide is showing construction of ray diagram for a concave lens. Now this concave lens is using as a diverging lens. So all the same rays which are coming from the object AB, after refraction it will diverge and that will be produced in the backward direction. It will appear to meet at a point. Okay, so this ray diagram, just go through this ray diagram here. In the following slides, I'll explain this ray diagram in a better way. Characteristics and location of our images for a convex lens. Object distance will take as U, image distance as V and focal length as F have been constantly used. Case 1, when the object is at infinity. Okay, see the figure here. The rays coming from an object at infinity are almost parallel to each other. So see here, all the parallel rays we have taken. We can take, this is also a ray of light is coming in this line, that is, it is incidenting to the optical center. It will pass undeviated because it is falling normally. Another two parallel rays, they will fall on the convex lens and after refraction, they will meet at second focus F2. So all the three rays are meeting at a point F2. So we are getting a real, inverted and a very, very diminished, almost like a point, image at the point F2. This phenomenon is used for using a convex lens as a burning glass. So this question is very important. Can a paper be burnt with the help of a convex lens? Yes, the paper can be burned if the paper is kept in this point, that is at focus. Then all the rays which are coming parallel from the sun, that is at the object is the sun which is at infinity, all the rays will converge at the focus and heat will produce and it can burn the paper also. Okay, so if this is the question, then you have to draw this ray diagram. Case 2. Object AB is at far distance. Object is at a far distance from the focus F. Okay. See the figure here. Light rays reaching from an object at a far distance are parallel to each other, but incident obliquely on the lens, not parallel to the principal axis PQ. Light ray passing through the optical center O remains undeviated. This one. Okay. Light rays passing through the focus F1 become parallel to the principal axis, that is the ray is DA dash. So both the rays are meeting at a point A dash. Okay, point A dash is the image of the top of the object, and A dash B dash is the object AB which is situated at a far distance. That image is forming in the focal plane. This is the focal plane, the plane which is passing through the focus. Am I clear? So we are getting a real image, an inverted image, and a diminished image. This phenomenon is used for using a convex lens as a camera lens. Here we are getting the image of the object which is inverted real in the focal plane. This diagram can also be drawn when the question is that whether we can burn a paper with the help of a convex lens. Yes, this diagram can also be drawn in that case. The paper can be kept at the focal plane. If it is so, then the image will form at the focal plane and it can burn the paper. Case 3, when the object is beyond 2f1. Okay, so the object is placed here. The object is shown by AB. We have to consider two rays. Suppose we are considering a ray AD which is parallel to the principal axis, and that after refraction it will go through the second focus, that is F2, and another ray of light we have considered which is passing through the optical center and it will pass undeviated. So these two rays are meeting at a point, and then we have to draw the image. That image we are getting as A dash B dash. This is also an inverted image, and the image is formed after F2 and before 2F2. That means in between F2 and 2F2. The image we will get in between F2 and 2F2. Okay. Here also we will get a diminished image. So the size of the image is smaller than the object. The image is real, it is inverted and diminished. So this phenomenon is used for using a convex lens as a camera lens where object is not very far. Clear? Next is case 4, when the object is at 2f1. Okay, see here the object is placed at 2f1. That means u is equals to 2f. What will happen? You have to consider two rays. One ray is coming parallel to the principal axis, that is from A, this is AD line, AD rays, that will pass through the second focus. So this line, okay, and the second ray we have taken which is passing through the optical center and it will go undeviated. Now this two rays, these are the two rays which are meeting at a point at A dash, which is at 2f2, and we will get an inverted image of the object AB, which will be at A dash and B dash. The image will be of same size as that of the object. So what we are getting, if we are putting the object at 2f1, then we will get the image also at 2f2, and the object and the image will be of same size. Okay, same height. This phenomenon is used in a terrestrial telescope where a convex lens is used for erecting an inverted image produced by the object lens. Am I clear, children? Next case, that is case 5, when the object is between f1 and 2f1. Okay, so you can understand that we are bringing the object nearer to the optical center. Okay, so the case 5 is when the object is in between f1 and 2f1. So here is the object, AB is the object. Again we have to consider two rays. One ray is AD, which is coming parallel to the principal axis, and it will go through the focus, that is f2. And another ray we have considered, which is incidenting through the optical center, and it will pass undeviated. So these two rays are meeting at a point, that is A dash, and then A dash B dash is the image formed of object which is beyond 2f2, which is beyond 2f2. And now we are getting the size of the image is magnified than the object. It is bigger than the object. Size of the image is bigger than the size of the object. So what we can say? We can say that the image is real, image is inverted, and image is magnified. This phenomenon is used for using convex lens in cinema and slide projector. Clear? Next case, case number 6. When the object is at f1. Now you can see that the object is placed at f1. That means your u is equals to small f. Again we have to consider two rays. AB is the object. We have to consider two rays. One ray AD, which is passing parallel to the principal axis and going through the focus f2, and another ray which is passing through the optical center AO, which will pass undeviated. Now these two rays, they are parallel to each other. These two refracted rays, they are parallel to each other, and they will form an image at infinity. Okay, they will form an image at infinity. It is a magnified image, but the image is inverted and real. So what we are getting? We are getting real, inverted, and highly magnified image. Okay, so you have to know about it, that when the object is placed at f1 in a convex lens, then we are getting the image at infinity. The image will be formed at infinity, which will be highly magnified but real and inverted. This phenomenon is used for using a convex lens in the collimator of a spectrometer for obtaining parallel beam of light from the light source. Clear? Now this is the last case for a convex lens. When the object is in between the center and the focus f1. You can see here the object is taken in between the focus f1 and the center O. So you can understand that we are bringing the object nearer to the optical center. Okay, so consider AB as the object which is in between focus f1 and O. For that, we have to take two rays for the image formation. One is ray AD, which is passing parallel to the principal axis. Naturally, it will go through the focus f2. Another ray we will consider which will pass through optical center O, and it will pass undeviated. Now these two rays will appear to meet at a point A dash. Okay, that is a virtual point, So for that, what we have to do, we have to extend both the line in the backward direction. Okay, so what we are getting A dash B dash is a virtual image of AB. Am I clear? So image formed here is not real, it is a virtual, it is not inverted also, it is erect, and it is magnified image. Okay, so this is the only one case when the object is placed in between the focus F1 and the optical center O. Then we are getting, for a convex lens, of course, we are getting a virtual, erect and magnified image. This phenomenon is used for a convex lens as a magnifying glass or a simple microscope for viewing small objects. Clear, children? Summary of object and image position in a convex lens. So what we have got, at infinity, when the object is at infinity, the position of the image is at f2. Size of the image is highly diminished, and nature of the image is real and inverted. Application of that type of position of the object when it is at infinity. What was the application? What is the application for that type of lens? That is, it is used as a burning glass. If the object is beyond f2, the position of the image is in between f2 and 2f2. Size is diminished. Nature is real and inverted. Application is in camera lens. If the object is at 2f1, the position of the image is also at 2f1. The size of the image and the object will be of the same size. The nature of the image real and inverted, and it is used in terrestrial telescope. If the object is in between f1 and 2f1, the image will formed beyond 2f2. It is magnified, real and inverted, and it is used in slide projector. If the object is at f1, then the image will formed at infinity, but it is highly magnified. It's real and inverted. In a collimator or spectrometer, this type is used. Okay. Now the last one is, if the object is in between the lens and the focus f1, then the position of the image on the same side behind the object. Okay, size is magnified. Nature of the image is virtual and upright, and the application is in magnifying glass. Okay, children. Now we will see the formation of the image for a concave lens. Case 1, when the object is at infinity. Okay. When the object is placed at infinity for a concave lens, again here also we will consider some parallel rays. So this is one parallel ray and this is another parallel ray which are parallel to the optical center. As it is a concave lens, a diverging lens, both the rays will be diverged in this position. And then if we'll extend those rays in the backward direction, it will appear to meet at the focus f2. Okay. It is appeared to diverge from a point which is the second focus. Thus, a virtual, erect and highly diminished close to a point image is formed on the second focus. Okay, and on the side of the object in front of the concave lens. So, the image is virtual, erect and highly diminished. Am I clear? Now, second case in which the object is at far distance, which is not shown in the figure. Just look at the figure here. When an object is at far distance, the light rays will be considered as a parallel rays, but those rays are not parallel to the principal axis. So here we have taken two rays. One is PD. That ray PD, it appears to come from the focus F1, directed towards first focus F1. That ray PD, after refraction become parallel to the principal axis, and the path of the ray is D dash. Another ray we will consider which will pass through the optical center, and it will pass undeviated according to the ray O dash. Now extend the ray D dash in the backward direction, which is meeting the ray O dash at point A dash. Now A dash B dash is the virtual image formed. Okay, the image formed at the second focal plane. This is the second focal plane. This is F2, so this will be the second focal plane. Okay, the image is virtual, image is erect, and image is diminished. This phenomenon is used for using a concave lens in Galilean telescope. Case 3, when the object is at any finite distance. You can see here any finite distance from the concave lens. Anywhere in the concave lens, if you put the object, it will give you the same type of image. So there is only one ray diagram for concave lens. Object AB is placed at any finite distance. Okay, so here we have taken the object is beyond 2F2. You can take anywhere. You can place the object anywhere. All the cases you will get the same type of image formation. Okay. Now from here we have considered two rays. One is AD, that is after diffraction it will pass through D dash. Okay. Now another ray, that is from AO is another ray which is passing through the optical center, and it will pass undeviated. Now extend the line D dash in the backward direction. This D dash, when it is extended to the backward direction, and the ray AO dash, these two lines are meeting at a point, that is A dash. So A dash B dash is the image formed, which is a virtual image. Okay, and this image is having the characteristics. It is a virtual image, it is erect, and this is diminished. Okay, the object is at any finite distance for a convex lens. You will get the virtual image, you will get an erect image, and you will get a diminished image. Okay, so there is only one ray diagram. The summary of object and image position in a concave lens. There are three cases, but when the object is at infinity and object is at far distance, we can consider these two as one case only. See here, the position of the object when the object is at infinity, the position of the image will formed at focus on the same side of the lens. Okay, and if the object is at a far distance, then image will formed at the focal plane. Am I clear? If it is infinity, then the image will formed at focus, and if it is in the far distance, then the image will formed at the focal plane on the same side of the lens. And in both the cases, the nature of the image will be virtual and upright. Size of the image is highly diminished, and the application is in Galilean telescope. Okay, and then another position of the image in a concave lens, that is at any position between infinity and optical center, the image will formed in between the focus and the optical center on the same side of the lens. In that case also, the image will be virtual and upright, and the size of the image will be diminished, and the application is in making spectacles for myopic eye. Okay. Difference between the image formed by a convex lens and a concave lens. Image by a convex lens, image can be real as well as virtual. It is virtual if the object lies within the focal distance. Image can be magnified, same size as well as diminish. And the third one, image may be erect as well as inverted. For concave lens, the image is virtual for all possible position of the object. The image is always diminished and the image is always erect. This all you have to remember. Okay. This is the end of lecture 5. The ray diagram you have to practice on your own. So please practice all the ray diagram because these are very important. And in the next class, we shall study sign convention and lens formula, which is also a very important thing.